Yo, what's up, everybody? Man, BK. I saw somebody drop some awesomeness in our community Discord about an update to Remnant and happened to find myself into their patch notes. So we are gonna read this off live and see if and see what we see. See what we see. So get ready. Well, that video broke halfway through there. Screw it. We're still going to stay with it. All right, y'all. So we have the patch notes out for Remnant 2 that says, thank you all for the support. Since we launched Remnant 2 last week, the response to the game has been amazing to see, and we are honored and humbled by you all. Since launch, we've focusing on improving players' experience across the board. We've made our initial pass on stability and performance on all platforms, focused on progression blockers, bugs, and addressed some quality of life requests from the community. This is the first major update, and we plan to continue to fix issues and add quality of life features. Once again, thank you all for the support you have shown us. So yes, yes, and yes. So the top of the notes here are for performance and crashes. The initial optimizations to improve overall performance, updates to improve hitching, fix multiple crash bugs, high detail shadows have been moved. This is a thing for PC, so that's just a nice little overhaul on performance in general. We have some QOL quality of life overview changes here. They said, while we still have quite a few things we are working on regarding traits and long-term grinding for those that wish to partake, aka the hardcore players, all of us people who want to keep playing Remnant 2 well after credits. We wanted to make a few changes in this patch to ensure players had more freedom to experiment. Oh, I'm already getting excited. Players should find it much easier to respec, and they should also end up with more scrap overall. We aren't done here by any means, and these are not the larger changes we've mentioned on Discord and Reddit, but in the short term, they should help to ease the burden or reconfiguring your build or experimenting with different options. So what did we do here? They've increased the trait cap by 5. Okay. I mean, like, that's not nothing. Obviously, this is going to continue to change over time. So let's just all keep that in mind. 5 is better than 0, and they turn that around pretty fast. And as much as everybody would probably like to think developers can just flip a switch and make every change you guys deem necessary, that's not always the case. So that's nice. That's a nice start. Tome of Knowledges will now grant scrap and experience when the player has reached the trait cap. This makes complete sense. I almost think this might have been a bug because it should have been in the game to begin with, but it's in there now. So once you've hit your trait cap, you will get scrap and experience if you still need experience from those tomes. Orb of Undoing now has unlimited uses. This is easily the greatest change I've read so far. This is great. I think that's wonderful. Hopefully, maybe this will also bring in loadouts soon. Now that we can just at will respec, players can sell any extras for scrap for anyone who bought them. They removed the trait requirements for equipping a second archetype. Players may now slot their second archetype as soon as they can convert another Ingram. Okay, that's interesting. They had mentioned that they were trying to look at doing that, and I think for people here in our community, they were a bit like, some were like, yeah, why not? Others were like, well, that could be overwhelming. I mean, I'm right in the middle on that. I mean, it's whatever. I think this is cool. I mean, get into the game sooner, right? Why not? Remove the scrap cost for converting a mysterious item into an Ingram from 1,000 to 0. That's great. Lowered the Luminite cost for converting a mysterious item into an Ingram from 10 to 5. That's a good change. Slightly increased scrap gain from breakables. Awesome. Increased scrap gain from regular and rare chests. That's awesome. They increased, oh my God, y'all, say increased scrap gain 3 times fast when killing aberrations, and reduce the cost of Bloodroot. I think those are all wonderful quality of life changes that should make a very big impact today. And this patch is already out. Archetypes, the Explorer archetype, they increase the duration of the Scavenger buff, they increase the duration of the Gold Digger buff, and they increase the healing amount of Gold Digger. I have not played with Explorer, so I have no idea how good that is. They have a dev note here. We wanted to make sure Explorer could maintain Scavenger longer between fights and give them more freedom while Gold Digger fountains were active. We've increased the duration by 5 seconds each and boosted the healing fountain to be more enticing. So I'm guessing this is to make it more than just a class to use to, find scrap. So giving it that healing thing might actually make it more buildable around other things instead of being so niche. I still think people will probably pick that up just for the scavenger buffs you're getting, not necessarily to put into any like high powered builds. The Archon archetype, they've increased the Havoc form lightning hands damage from 28 to 56. So if it wasn't already busted, y'all, it's busted now. Increased Archon Havoc form blink damage from 100 to 150 and reduced the Havoc cooldown from 120 to 90 seconds. Okay. They said these changes are in response to a bug fix that allowed Havoc form lightning hands to deal ridiculous damage. Okay, so they've fixed a bug. But okay, y'all, like let's just talk about that for a second. This is actually really cool. Like they are fixing a bug that created like one-shot builds, right? But they're not just like coming in here and nerfing everybody's fun. Instead, they're not only fixing the bug, they're also increasing the actual damage that the ability does and decreasing the time that you can get it up. I honestly, I think that's a huge W. Like that's how, what a great change. What a way to fix a bug, but buff the class so it still feels really good to everybody. And that nerf to the cooldown is huge. The Challenger archetype, they've adjusted the damage fall off for Challenger's close quarters perk. At maximum range, the Challenger will always maintain a 10% damage bonus to all damage. To the Handler archetype, they've increased the Handler's Pack Hunter range from 25 to 40 meters, and they've increased base max health of Handler's Very Good Boy Companion. All my good boy people out there are probably clapping, so your doggo's got more health. The Summoner archetype, they've increased the base max health of Summoner's Hollow and Flyer variants. This is an incredible change. I was a Summoner medic in my first playthrough. The life for your Hollows and Flyers, especially the Flyers, was pretty bad in my opinion. Being a medic helped that because I could put the shield on them, but this is great. I'll actually go right in and see if I can feel the difference in their health. And that's the changes to the archetypes. Again, this is already an incredible update. There's not a single nerf to any class. Everything actually just got buffed, and some nice buffs along with that. For weapons, they've switched the Aphelion scaling to boss special damage scaling instead of standard. I have no idea what that means. Increase the fire damage for Shatterstar, the Savior mod. Reduce the fire rate on Nightfall and Standard and Dreadwalker fire modes. I think that's the one that is like, I think Nightfall is the one where you get the infinite ammo for forever. So this would be a little bit of a nerf. I'm not surprised by it given how powerful that is, if that is the gun I'm thinking of in that mode. Dev note, Nightfall was dealing far more damage than other weapons in both modes, almost 20% more with Dreadwalker active compared to other guns with their mods active. When considering damage and the mod ability, harder to hit, life siphon, and fire rate, it was pushing Nightfall too far above every other long gun, and now sits closer in range with other high damage weapons. So yes, that is the gun I'm thinking of. I think that it was probably a necessary nerf. It was very easy to fall into that weapon and never want to stop using it, in my opinion. They reduced the AoE burst damage of Enigma's Overload. They reduced the subsequent tether damage of Enigma's primary fire from 75% to 65%. That's a 10% hit. That kind of sucks. Reduced the magazine capacity. Oh, wow. They really nerfed Enigma, didn't they? From 30 to 25 and reduce the total reserve capacity of Enigma from 120 to 125. Okay. I like how I was like talking them up about not nerfing, and then they just slapped like two pretty well used weapons right in the face. The dev note here is Enigma was performing too far above our goal for an AoE clear, so a few adjustments were made. There's still an issue with it ignoring armor, which will be addressed in the future. However, when that happens, we will reevaluate the numbers. So I guess still enjoy Enigma while you can. It sounds like that might get nerfed pretty hard. I think these, in my personal opinion, I think these are probably needed nerfs. These are two guns that are were very, very, very good. I have not played Apocalypse though, so I don't really know. I can't speak to what this will do for some of that in-game stuff. All right, enemies. They've reduced the damage on Nightweaver's grab attacks. They've adjusted the hitboxes for the Magister, Dolan's tongue attack. On multiplayer, they're reducing incoming damage in multiplayer from 25% per additional player to 15% per player. This is great. Maybe my fire mod won't kill Young anymore. Bug fixes, progression and rewards. They fixed multiple reported crash bugs, y'all. They've got progression blockers. They fixed the issue that prevented players from completing the tutorial if the crash happened when interacting with Ford. They fixed the infinite loading screen issue that was present for some players when selecting skip tutorial. The plasma cutter, preventing the final boss from transitioning to his second phase. They fixed the Tal Ratha boss lockout and cutscene. They fixed the Astro Path boss fight from falling if the game was exited during cutscenes. They've addressed issues with trait points going negative. This is a very good one. I've had a lot of people talk to me about this. Negative trait points have been flipped to positive. This will also fix issues with the second archetype being locked out. They've addressed issues players not receiving achievements. Awesome. I know there's a lot of people who have had that problem. The note here, though, is that this will retroactively reward ones that should have been previously unlocked. In future patches, we will look into attempting to retroactively award as many as we can. However, some will likely not be able to be awarded this way and will need to be reacquired. All right. That's a little sad with a little positive, right? Players who've completed the oracles. There is a lot of stuff here, y'all. I think I'm gonna read it in my head and make sure I just tell y'all the big ones. They fixed the issues with weapons not unlocking after hardcore playthrough. I can already tell this is gonna be sad, y'all. Unfortunately, hardcore awards will not be retroactively awarded for previous completions of hardcore mode. So there you go. The thing I was saying might happen, it ended up happening. If you didn't get those rewards, you will have to replay hardcore mode, I'm guessing, is what that means. Fixed an issue with weapons not unlocking after completing playthroughs at different difficulties. And again, this is going to be another one where it cannot be retroactively awarded. I can already see the comments. I understand. I completely hear you. You already invested the time. Time is our most important commodity. It is a huge, as I said, unfortunate. I'm not surprised that they couldn't retroactively award those. There really is no way of saying, outside of saying I'm really sorry, y'all, that you have to do that again. Players who listened to all Mutsu stories but did not receive the rewards can now visit Mutsu to get that reward. That would be the gunslinger, and I think there's something else you get with that. They fixed the issue preventing Explorer and Archon armor from appearing on the vendor. Okay, so there you go. That's how you get the Explorer and Archon armor. It should appear on the vendor. Players will need to first convert the appropriate mysterious item into an Engram. They fixed an issue preventing Mudtooth's elixir from appearing in his inventory. They fixed Clementine, an achievement. They fixed an issue preventing Revitalist trait from being awarded. Archetypes. They fixed an issue with Archon's Havoc form lightning hands. Casting speed now properly ramps up. Hunter's focus not granting people proper weak spot damage. Gunslinger's bullet storm not terminating. And male engineer ignoring falling transition when overclocking. These are some gear item fixes. Looks like it's visual effects fixes, some stacking problems. Nothing. This isn't anything I think you guys are gonna need to know. Enemies. I'm now reading these in my head. I'll be here like for 40 minutes if I read this all off to y'all. I think that's it. I think those are the big ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is I think a W update. I think this is a really good update, and they did it really fast if we're considering how quickly this got out there. It looks like they covered the gears not dropping. They covered the rewards not happening for completions. You will have to complete those again. And they actually buffed a couple of things and nerfed some of those OP weapons. So look, if you've enjoyed yourself here and you stay through this whole video, you should like and subscribe, because I'm going to keep doing this kind of stuff and we have a lot of fun here. You should join the Discord if you want to hang out, play Remnant 2 or Baldur's Gate 3 or Starfield or any number of games that we're playing. Hope everybody has an absolutely fantastic weekend. Hopefully this doesn't make you too angry. There is no mention of crossplay, which is sad. Hopefully that will happen soon. Again, like, subscribe. I'm HitmanBK. Thank you so much. Have an absolutely stellar weekend.